Hey everybody, Rosematter here, and welcome to part 10 of my Tsukihime playthrough. Today we are going to start the CL playthrough. I was surprised by how quickly, relatively quickly, compared to some other visual novels that I got through the first playthrough, so I imagine that they're all going to be about the same length. And maybe even shorter, because I'm sure, similar to like other visual novels, I can at least skip a lot of the beginning. So we might get, right into like the new content, which I'm excited for because CIEL'S an intriguing figure. We got little glimpses of who she is, her true nature, but there's still so much that's mysterious about her. So we'll get to like learn more about her and this whole thing with the church and the burial agency and what that's all about. And I'm excited to see like how different it's going to be compared to with the Arcuate playthrough. So anyway, let's go ahead. Let's start the CL run. Okay, so I skipped ahead already. I have no idea what this is in relation to, but we want to choose I'm curious, so I'll go take a look. Okay, so this is meeting CL for the first time, but you know what? We won't skip it because this is the CL route, like we'll play the stuff with her just to kind of get ourselves reacquainted with her. The source of the noise soon became apparent as I walked towards the courtyard. A female student is crouching in the middle of the tree-lined path working with a hammer and nails. Plus, it's always good when you like maybe learn about like who CL actually is to go back to when we first met her and be like, is there maybe like any hints about things that like given context now we might learn, or we might like be able to extrapolate some information that we didn't know before. What is she doing? There are only a few minutes left until homeroom. Maybe she doesn't have a watch. At the moment, that's the best I could come up with. Still, to notice and then just to ignore her would be somewhat cruel. I approach her unhurriedly, trying not to surprise her and speak. Plus, there's a thing like that, the fact that we knew her before, like when we were younger, apparently. So, now that we know, like, what happened, that we've encountered Roa, or at least, not Roa, sorry, Roa came afterwards when the original Shiki died. But except she would have been quite young too, like, she's about our age. Unless she's lying about her age, maybe she just looks really young, but maybe she's, like, quite a bit older. But she said, like, apparently we knew her when we were younger. So, like, what's that all about? I'm assuming we're gonna get into that. Hey, homeroom's starting soon. Huh? The squatting girl raises her face. The ribbon on her uniform displays the color of a third year. The older student looks at me while holding her hammer. Her gaze through the glasses is so direct I feel like I'm being pulled in. Her serious eyes make me want to apologize for bothering her. The splint she was facing is rotten beyond use. Come to think of it, our school's rear courtyard is in a terrible state of disrepair. The splints are neglected and the flower beds untended. Apparently, the teachers intended for the students to conduct a big cleanup at the end of the year, so the maintenance men have done nothing since summer. I take in the situation with a single glance. The girl with the hammer is repairing the broken down splints, paying no mind to the fact her tidy uniform is being dirtied. She has sweat on her brow, and it looks like she's been swinging her hammer in a most serious manner. But as far as I know, there's nobody in charge of repairing public property at the school. What is it? The older student asks, adjusting her crooked glasses. Like, if anything, maybe because of the situation she's in, she was at least, like, aware of our family history, and that we've got, like, the special Tohno blood in us. Well, I don't, because I'm not an actual Tohno, but... So maybe she was, like, kind of... She's always been, like, keeping an eye out on me. Maybe she knew what had happened, and I was, like, someone to watch out for. It's nothing. I was just wondering what you were doing. As you can see, I'm in the middle of fixing the splints. Yeah, I can see that. That's not what I meant. I was wondering why you're doing something like this. Won't the maintenance people take care of it anyway? Aha. The older student laughs to hide her embarrassment. I'm the kind of person who can't stand seeing a mess like this. I just can't leave them alone. It seems as though she's repairing the splints because she just couldn't let them stay that way. What an odd senpai. That's why you're fixing it on your own? If you don't like the mess, why not just avoid coming here? Well, my classroom is over there. Senpai points at the second floor classroom facing the courtyard. My seat is next to the window, so it's easy for me to see the courtyard. Well, usually I just bear it, but when I took my seat today, I was surprised to see all the splints in the area were broken. Senpai's face clouded, as if to say, isn't that terrible? Apparently she's upset, although she doesn't look seriously angry. You know what they say, strike while the iron's hot and all. I borrowed the tools from the office and decided to fix them myself. And so the explanation ends. Making a bow, Senpai returns to hammering the nails. Alright, I understand all that, but how about we leave it here for now? Homeroom is in less than 5 minutes, and if it's this bad, won't the school get around to fixing it pretty soon? No way. Gripping her hammer, the senpai with glasses shakes her head furiously. I won't be able to concentrate with a garden like this, even if I go to class. Also, interesting that people told me that, like, Chie from Higurashi is kind of inspired by CL, and I can see it. Like, I could definitely see CL. She looks like a younger Chie. It could just be the hair, and like the eyes, but like I could see that. It'll just sound like nonsense to me, and then the teacher will say, "Hey you, what are you staring at?" I'll get yelled at for sure. Senpai continues to grip the hammer while she emphasizes her point. Well, I suppose the teacher would be upset if he kept looking outside. He would, wouldn't he? That's why I have to do it now. With that, Senpai begins her repairs once again, clumsily hammering away. She's obviously not used to using a hammer. Clank, clank rings the hammer as it hits the wood. And by the looks of it, there isn't just 1 or 2 broken splints. I can't begin to guess how long it will take her to repair all of them on her own. The bell begins to ring. Looks like first period started. I give up, considering things have gotten to this point. I sit down silently and begin to help repairing the splints. Once I begin to help, I quickly realize mending them isn't that difficult after all. Although the older student is not used to making repairs, she's quite skillful anyway. She's already gotten the hang of it, and work is proceeding at a brisk pace. Senpai's movements are quick and sharp, and I enjoy watching her. She really is quite clever. Before I know it, there's only 1 splint left to repair. 30 minutes have passed. I can't stay here any longer, and only 1 more would be no problem for Senpai. Well, I'll be going. I stand up and dust off my pants. The student with the glasses also stands up and begins to stare at me. Come to think of it, just who is she? I hadn't given it any thought because of what I was doing, but when I stopped to consider her, I realized she's quite beautiful. Someone this good-looking would be known by every male student. They'd be talking about a 3rd-year beauty. I have to go. Don't work too hard, Senpai. She gives an obedient nod. Even though she's older than me, it's almost like dealing with someone younger. Thank you for helping me. I'm glad you did. She makes a quick bow. I'll be sure to come say hello during lunch. Oh, don't forget to wash your hands, Tohno-kun. You too, Senpai. With that, I wave my hand and leave, and he's like, wait a minute, I never said what my name was. Wait, huh? Have I met you before, Senpai? Eh? Senpai cries out in surprise and mischievously puts on a depressed face. Oh, I guess the thing is too, right? Like, now here's the thing. Did we actually know each other when we were younger? I lost my memories when I was a kid, or is she just, like, does she know I lost my memories and she's just using that to be like, oh, no, we totally know each other. I'm totally not working with the church to hunt vampires. And also keeping an eye on you because I suspect that you might, be the reincarnation of Roa. Forgotten? No, I don't think so. If I'd ever met a beautiful woman like her, there'd be no way I'd forget. She looks at me reproachfully. Those eyes, I'm sure I remember from somewhere, don't I? Come to think of it, we had exchanged greetings once or twice before, hadn't we? CIEL'S-senpai, isn't it? Apprehensively, I suggest her name. Yes, I'm glad you remember. You seem the type to space out and forget, Tohno-kun. I don't think I space out, but there's nothing I can do about the fact I forgot. See you later then. Sorry for keeping you. CIEL'S-senpai bows again. I watch her go and start to walk towards the school building. Alright, so now we want to go out into the hallway. I think before I stayed in the classroom to eat lunch, so this is I believe this is a new choice. During lunchtime, the hall is packed. Students head to the cafeteria or to their favorite places, lunches in hand. Caught in the flow of people, I contemplate whether I should go to the cafeteria or the store. I'm somewhat taken aback at my own leisure. If I have time to waste, it'd be better to go to the cafeteria where Arihiko is. I begin walking towards the cafeteria. On the way there, a familiar face waves and runs up to me. Thank goodness, I've been looking for you, Tohno-kun. Oh, CIEL'S-senpai, hello. I feel embarrassed for some reason and return her unusual greeting. Yes, hello. Well, we've already met once today, so I guess it's not proper to say hello. A small smile floats onto Senpai's face, as if she found something amusing. Yeah, now that you mention it, I guess you're right. I avert my eyes and give a lukewarm reply, becoming increasingly embarrassed. I wonder, I should be used to speaking to Senpai like this, but for some reason I'm getting embarrassed. Tohno-kun, do you have some urgent business? You seem a bit unsettled. No, nothing like that. I don't, but for some reason her every move feels unfamiliar. I can't calm down. It's nothing. More importantly, Senpai, you said you were looking for me. Do you need me for something? Well, I wanted to thank you for this morning, so I was looking for you. But this morning? Oh, you mean in the courtyard? Of course. Sorry to ask, but are you going to have lunch? I sigh. Well, people usually eat lunch at lunchtime. Great, then we can eat together. I'll treat you as thanks for this morning. Let's go to the cafeteria. Eh? Senpai smiles. Grabbing my wrist, she starts to walk. It's strange enough for a third year like Senpai to walk down the second year hall, but this attracts even more attention. The gazes of the students in the hall fall upon Senpai and me, and a murmur of conversation starts. What? Wait, just a second. It's alright, you don't have to. I quickly shake off my arm. I only did what I did this morning on a whim. There's no need for you to thank me. I draw back from Senpai, well aware of how flushed my face is. There's no need to be so reserved. Work should be rewarded, so please let me treat you. Senpai grabs a hold of my arm again. That's not what I'm talking about. I mean, I just couldn't say that I'm embarrassed to be with her because we stand out so much. Come on, there won't be any seats if we don't hurry. I'll listen to the details after we get to the cafeteria. Senpai starts walking, pulling my arm with a tug. Any further questions would bring more stares from the people around us in the hall. I don't know what Senpai is planning, but I peacefully accompany her to the cafeteria. Almost all the seats in the cafeteria are taken. I'd spent about 10 minutes in the hallway, first spaced out, then talking with Senpai. So empty cafeteria seats are pretty much non-existent. I'll stand in line, Tohno-kun, so please go get some seats. Is there any food you don't like? If there is, now's the time to let me know. Nope, there isn't. I'm not picky with food. Very well. I won't take long. Senpai lines up with everyone else. It seems my only choice is to obediently accept that she'll be treating me. But there aren't any seats left. I look around the bustling cafeteria. You can't find even 2 seats at this hour, let alone 2 seats together. There. I sigh. There, plain as day, is a table with not only 2, not 3, but 4 unoccupied seats. There's only 1 student sitting at the table, and it seems he noticed me while I was looking around for a seat. Yo, Tohno! The student vigorously waving his hand as my dear classmate with the dyed orange hair. My head hurts, but there isn't anywhere else to sit. I have no choice but to return the wave and walk towards the table where my friend is sitting. You're late. I told you to hurry because I invited a special guest today. What the hell have you been up to? Arihiko begins to complain as soon as we're face to face. Yeah, come to think of it, you did. So who is it? Huh? About that, she promised me yesterday she'd come, but she declined this morning. She said she had someone she wanted to thank or something, so she'd be busy this lunchtime. Did they say in the last playthrough how Ciel and Arihiko started talking? Did she just get close to Arihiko because it meant getting close to me, or what's up with that? Because they don't seem like they would, I don't know, run in the same social groups. Arihiko sighs as he eats his chikara udon. Someone she wanted to thank. Those words catch my attention. Arihiko, that special guest wouldn't happen to be a third-year student, would she? Whoa! Arihiko's body jumps in shock. A rather energetic girl wearing glasses? Whoa! Arihiko begins quivering. The students at the tables around us stand up as if to make a fast escape. Are you psychic? Arihiko points at me fearfully. No, that doesn't mean I'm psychic. Sorry to keep you waiting. Good to see you found a seat, Tohno-kun. There, Senpai arrives with a smile, carrying a silver tray. Arihiko's eyes are wide open in surprise. Huh? Inui-kun? What a coincidence. Still smiling, Senpai takes her seat. Arihiko gives a choked response. Here you go, Tohno-kun. Please eat until you're full. Even after all this time, I still can't shake off her smile. Alright. In that case, thanks for the food. Taking Arihiko's dumbfounded stare in stride, I sit down. Senpai sits in front of me while Arihiko sits beside me. Ita... Oh my gosh, I always have trouble with this. I know it's the thing you say before you eat. I gotta learn this. I gotta learn this. Itadakimasu. For some reason, that makes my mouth all jumble trying to say that word. Putting my hands together with a clap, I look down at the tray Senpai brought. And on the menu is curry rice, and oh my gosh, right? Because Chie loves curry. Okay, that's where Chie got her curry obsession from, is because CL also loves curry. I think someone may have mentioned that before, but I forgot. Curry rice, and curry udon. I don't get it. Senpai? Yes? What is it, Tono-kun? About this. What's going on? What do you mean? It's lunch, isn't it? What else does it look like? What else, you say? But all I see is curry. Hey, what's wrong with curry? Curry is amazing. Yes, it's curry. Senpai laughs happily. The problem is they all look like curry. There's 3 dishes. Of course. You're a boy, so you eat a lot. I'll just have one, so please take whatever one you like. Okay. In that case, I'll take the curry rice and curry udon. The other choice is hell. Make sure to finish it, Tono-kun. After all, you aren't picky with food, are you? There isn't a shred of antagonism in Senpai's smile, nor is this some kind of a joke. She truly had good intentions. Yes, itadakimasu. I dig into the curry rice with my spoon in despair. And then, Tono-kun, from beside me came the cry of a dead man being reborn. How long are you going to ignore your dear best friend? Arihiko's elbow sinks into the side of my stomach with a thud. Eh? Inoue-kun, do you know Tono-kun? Do I know him? We've been best friends since middle school. My best friend hits the table with a bang for emphasis. Really? The person who helped me this morning was Tono-kun. Oh yeah? If you had told me his name, I would have brought him here. So, did this guy do something for you? Yes, he helped me fix my splints. Huh? He helped you fix your shin splints? Arihiko frowned suspiciously. Well, I guess you would consider helping someone fix their shin splints a bit odd. No, fixing splints. Please, don't make me angry when I'm eating. CL-senpai gets angry. She seems to be someone you can never tire of watching. Fixing splints? Oh, the splints in the courtyard. You were at it again? You sure enjoy that kind of thing, senpai, but you'd be better off if you gave up. If you keep doing things like that, the teachers will start expecting you to do them. That's alright, I do it because I enjoy it. You shouldn't talk about the teachers like that, though, you know? They really care about the school. I'm finding it difficult to follow their conversation. Senpai, don't tell me don't tell me that you normally do that sort of thing. Yeah. Didn't you know, Tono? CL-senpai so handy that they call her the shadow president of the student council. No, I was asking senpai. Wait, never mind. What on earth is the shadow president? That's a badass nickname. Is she strong? I ask with my eyes. Yeah, responds Arihiko with an exaggerated nod. She's quite something, totally unlike the student council, which is the student council in name only. She's a third year who will solve anything for you if you ask her. Even got a fan club among the first years. And if something happens, the teachers all rely on her. There isn't a single teacher who complains about what senpai does. Arihiko speaks with pride as if he were actually talking about himself. Wow, CL-senpai sure is amazing. Even the teachers rely on you. I look at senpai impressed. Ah, yes, thank you. Senpai turns bright red, embarrassed. Senpai churns her curry rice with her spoon. I guess it's to hide her embarrassment, but it reminds me of the enemy I have to face. Curry rice by itself is fine, but after that awaits curry udon. My doctor warned me not to eat too much, but I don't think there's anything else in this situation I can do. Well, you just give some to Arihiko, right? Having decided to try and finish one dish quickly, I direct all my concentration to the rice. Meanwhile, senpai and Arihiko begin talking about their own homes for some reason. I already know that Arihiko doesn't live with his parents, but it seems senpai's also living by herself. Apparently, senpai's apartment is quite close to school. It's roughly between the main street and the park. So, Tono-kun, where do you live? Huh? I silently eat my food when senpai, peering at me, asks a completely unrelated question. Where? Why do you ask, senpai? You already heard where I live, right, Tono-kun? I think it's unfair if I don't know where your house is. Unfair? You worry about the strangest things, senpai. It's not strange. If I don't know where you live, I can't visit you if something happens, right? I stop eating the curry rice. I have a feeling that something has been said I should be jubilant about. Visit? You mean you'd come and visit me if I catch a cold or something? No, I wouldn't. I don't have any plans to visit at the moment. Smiling, Senpai replies instantly, as if stating the obvious. It seems the euphoria is premature. Senpai doesn't even seem to have any unusual intentions. I see now. That's just the way she is. I guess I have to tell you. Yeah, my house is nearby too. Only a 40-minute walk. Jesus, that's considered nearby? I guess when you live in a big city, that's considered not that far, but damn. That's there's a residential district on top of the hill, right? Just go a little further and you're there. Oh yeah, you're moving today, right? Arihiko strikes his hand on the desk. Senpai tilts her head slightly. Moving? Tohno-kun, were you a transfer student? Huh? Senpai asks a strange question. Arihiko meets my gaze. Listen, I've been here since the first year. We've known each other since then, right? Why are you asking if I'm a transfer student now? But Tohno-kun, you moved yesterday, so moving doesn't automatically make you a transfer student. I'm just changing my address, not my school. Until now, I've been living with some relatives in the neighboring town. I'm just going back to my real home, that's all. Senpai, who wears a look of surprise, seems to understand. I see, you've only changed your residence, so now you live in the outskirts of town. Yeah, it's the colorful place on top of the hill. I'm moving there today. Huh, could that possibly be the Tohno-san mansion? Senpai asks, with some hesitation. The Western-style house at the top of the hill is probably seen as something special by residents of the town. I haven't been there for 8 years, but even in my memories, the Tohno mansion was ridiculously large. It's another connection, I don't know if I've mentioned it, but between this game and Fate is there's someone who lives at a Western mansion on top of a hill. Yeah, that's right. I don't think it's the right place for me either, but it's too late now that I'm done moving. Huh, you don't seem too happy about it. Neither good nor bad. I don't quite understand it either. Well, even if it is your house, it's been 8 years, right? I can understand if you're feeling strange. It'll probably feel like someone else's house for a while. I wonder if that's so. I haven't gone back yet, so I don't know. Well, I'm a bit relaxed, since I've always got a refuge at your place. Yeah, right. My house is no refuge of yours. When you come over during the holidays, my sister treats you better than me. It's probably only because Arihiko has terrible behavior, but I refrained from telling him that in the interest of preventing the conversation from getting worse. To be honest, it's not pleasant to have my home raised as a topic of conversation. Wow, you two certainly get along. Senpai peers at Arihiko and me. I wonder if CL intentionally drew that conversation to houses to kind of get that information out of me because she wants to know where I live. If so, very sneaky. No way, me and Tohno would never help each other no matter how much trouble we were in. In other words, we're enemies, mademoiselle. Arihiko says in a fed-up tone. I'm getting pretty fed up myself with his pseudo-foreigner-isms too. But your relationship is so good that Tohno-kun has stayed over at your house before, right? Doesn't that mean you get along really well? You're wrong, Senpai. And damn, Tohno is too reserved towards his parents, and he'd come over to my place every vacation. He's reserved toward them because they're taking care of him. That's why he comes over to my place, where we conveniently have an empty room. Since he looks pretty decent, my sister has taken a liking to him, and he shamelessly comes to stay with us without paying a cent. Arihiko's fist trembles as if to say, unforgivable. Taking care, Kono-kun? Tohno-kun. Ah, Arihiko clamps a hand over his mouth. Sorry, I should have thought before I spoke. It's okay, he didn't say anything bad. I continue to eat my food without looking at Arihiko. Really? Yeah, you're right. If you complained about that, you'd be in for some punishment. Arihiko nods to himself in agreement. His overwhelming optimism is something I'm truly envious of. I'm sorry, Tohno-kun. Did you not get along with your previous family? No, that's not it. He has no problems with the Arimas. Oh, the Arimas were the family who took care of him. They were really nice people, and from what I could tell, they're a happy family. Even so, he refused to be their adopted kid, and he escaped to my place every vacation. Sheesh. Just what were you not satisfied with anyway? There's nothing I wasn't satisfied about. It's just, I've received so much from them already, I didn't want to be a further burden on them. So I'll be a burden to your family instead. I finish my rice as I reply. Now, only the curry udon is left. It's okay, Senpai. Sorry for making you listen to something so boring. Ah, not at all. I'm sorry for asking you something so strange. Senpai forces herself to look cheerful. The topic might be fine for a longtime friend like Arihiko, but a complex matter like this would only have been troublesome for Senpai. And to prove my point, Senpai sits there uneasily. Senpai, sorry, but I've got something private to talk to Tohno about. Would you mind leaving? Arihiko has no problems making such an offensive request. Isn't that phrase an indirect? No, a direct way of saying, we don't want you, Senpai, so get lost. You idiot, what do you think you're saying? We can discuss those things anywhere. And Senpai's still finishing her lunch. Despite all the talking with Arihiko, Senpai's finished her race anyway. No, I understand. Well then, I'll be leaving. Senpai lowers her head in a quick bow and leaves. Only Arihiko and I remain at the table. I sigh. Well, it looks like Senpai was having a hard time too, so it was for the best, but you were really pushing it there, Arihiko. Well, it's not like I had a choice. Anyways, I guess I've taken the role of the guy she ends up disliking. Slurp, slurp, slurp. Arihiko slurps away at his chikara udon. It seems it's gone cold while we were talking to Senpai. Sorry, you were trying to hit on Senpai, weren't you? Of course, she's probably the #1 girl at our school. But if she's the type to care about something like that, then she's not worth it. Oh, yeah, I really do have something to talk about to you in private. Arihiko's voice turns serious. I split my chopsticks with a snap and begin to eat my udon. What's wrong? Why so serious all of a sudden? I'll let you know right now, I don't have any money. From today onwards, I'm going to be living life as a penniless student. It's not that, damn it. What I want to know is this. What's really going on with you, Tohno? What do you mean? You've been at the Arima since primary school, right? I don't know why, but it's been 8 years already. Your dad has basically disinherited you. Why is he calling you back all of a sudden? I see. In his own strange way, Arihiko is worried about me. He didn't disinherit me. He just kicked me out of the house somehow. Tohno-kun, if there was ever a family that kicked their kid out of their house somehow, that's not a tragedy, it's a comedy. Oh, it's a party joke, but it's so boring it's not funny. Arihiko spreads his arms and shrugs. Yeah, I guess you're right. If you get kicked out of the house, all you can really do is laugh. And then he said some cliche line like, never step foot in this house again or something, right? That's what people would call disinheritance. Come to think of it, I've never heard of why you were disinherited. Who knows? It's something I'd like to know too. Well, we know the truth behind it. Well, if you don't want to talk about it, you don't have to. Grabbing his bowl with both hands, Arihiko drains what he has left of his chikara udon. Lunchtime is short. Following Arihiko, I decide to quickly finish my curry udon. Okay, so with this one, we want to stay in school for a little longer. And we will not skip it because we can hang out with, I almost said Chie, with Ciel a little bit longer. As soon as I step out into the hallway, I run into a familiar face. Huh? What's up, Senpai? Do you have some business here at the second-year classroom? Yes, business with a second-year student, to be precise. Ciel Senpai approaches with a smile. Listen, I have some nice snacks here, but no one to talk to. It'd be a waste to eat them all by myself, so I came to catch an idle-looking person to talk to. Someone to talk to, but there's no one left in the classroom. It's the same with all the other classes, too. You don't usually come to the second-year classrooms anyway, do you? You're on the lower floor, right? And if she wanted someone to talk to, aren't there plenty of third-year classmates she could talk to? She really didn't need to come all the way up here. Shouldn't you think about asking your third-year classmates? Conversation would probably be better. But today I'm in the mood to talk to younger guys. Please don't ask for a reason, it's just on a whim. Well, I won't ask. I probably wouldn't be able to understand even if she told me. Senpai's smile disappears as she stares into my face. Are you free tonight? Are you free right now, Tohno-kun? Well, if having nothing to do means I'm free, then I'm definitely free. Senpai grabs hold of my sleeve. Well then, you are now caught. Let's go have some tea. Senpai invites me with a smile. There's no reason for me to decline the offer, and besides, it should be fun talking with Senpai. Sure, I'll come along if it's okay with you. Then it's decided. Alright, let's go. Still holding my sleeve, she begins walking down the hall with a light gait. Wow, our school has a room like this? Could it be for the tea ceremony club? Yeah, it's the tea ceremony club's room for now. It seems like it hasn't been used up until I came through. Though. Senpai steps onto the tatami mat and starts preparations with a rattling noise. A club room, huh? That's the case. Won't the other club members be coming? It'd be bad for an outsider like me to be here, right, Senpai? It's okay. It may be the tea ceremony club, but there aren't any other members except for me. Thanks to that, I can use it freely during break time and after school. Here we go. Smiling, Senpai begins spreading the cushions. Tea is tea, but it looks like this is going to be a serious tea ceremony. To be honest, I'm a bit overwhelmed. Senpai, I don't have the slightest clue on what to do. What are you talking about? I only know up to the pouring bit myself. With that blunt reply, Senpai puts the teapot, some cups, and some tea cakes onto a plate. We're just going to have a casual conversation, so there's no need to be so formal. It isn't any fun that way, is it? Smiling softly, Senpai pours tea into her own cup. I just don't get you, Senpai. Mumbling, I pour my own tea. I slurp some. Picking up the tea cake and putting it in my mouth, I sip again at the tea. I was never involved with it, but the Arima family is a prominent tea ceremony family. Being raised in a household like that, I'm used to drinking tea and doing nothing. Senpai looks at me with a somewhat troubled expression. What's wrong, Senpai? You look a bit unhappy. Eh? I was just a little surprised at how calm you were about all of this, Tohno-kun. Really? Well, my family is a strict one, so I'm used to these kinds of things. More importantly, Senpai, didn't you have something you wanted to talk to me about? I do. The continuation of what we were talking about during lunch. What were we talking about during lunch? You mean about my family? Senpai nods to indicate a yes. If you don't mind, I'd like to hear more about it. I was curious about it since we stopped halfway. It's not that I mind, but hearing about my family isn't very interesting. It'd be a waste of time. I don't mind if it's not interesting, I just want to hear about it. You sure are eccentric, Senpai. Maybe I am. Senpai laughs. Alright then, let's continue from before. You said you moved to your home. What do you mean by that? Senpai asks, full of curiosity. I think we have an idea why she's curious, why she's latching on to me for seemingly no reason, right? It's like she's keeping an eye on me. Well, the conversation this afternoon must have been pretty fragmented for Senpai since she didn't know any of the circumstances. Let's see. Basically, I'm a guy who's been disinherited. I was seriously injured after getting caught up in a traffic accident when I was 9 years old. The injuries themselves somehow healed, but after that, I easily collapsed from anemia and threw up my food. That's why I was entrusted to my relatives, the Arimas, while I recuperated. So, in other words, the Arimas have been your parents who raised you since you were 9, right? That's right. I knew my old man hated me for some reason, and that once I'd been entrusted to the Arimas, I would never go back home. Go back to the Tohno mansion, that is. That's why, well, I thought I'd just continue to live as a son of the Arimas forever. That's what I thought, but my old man kicked the bucket recently. That's when they told me to return to the mansion. Now that my old man is no longer there, and I finally agreed. And that pretty much is my domestic situation. And my story like that. Senpai gives a little nod silently. May I just ask one thing? Sure, if I can answer it. Go ahead. Alright, then I'll ask. Did you dislike your previous family? My previous family, the Arimas who raised me as my parents? My mother and father who weren't my real parents, and the unfamiliar building which was without a doubt was home to strangers, but completely regardless of that. No, I liked them. They were people who didn't care that I wasn't related to them by blood. They were so warm to me that I felt bad about being depressed all by myself. And for them to love me no matter what, I didn't think it was a bad thing. I was loved by these people. That's why soon, even one day sooner, I have to truly become family to them. I'd been telling myself those words since I was young. Since a very, very long time ago. Over and over, I swore till I would practically pass out. Just like Arihiko said, I didn't have a single complaint about the Arima family. They treated me well, and I think I responded to their affection too. Between us, even though I knew we were just playing at being family, even if it was all just an act, I didn't feel any pain. No, I was happy. In a way, I had considered the Arima parents and me to be the ideal nuclear family. But it was no good, was it? Yeah, despite everything, there was a line I couldn't cross. This isn't your real family. No matter what I did, I couldn't get those words out of my head. I knew I should have been ignoring it, but I just couldn't do it. I don't know if you'd call it a childhood experience, but it had already become like a curse to me. Somehow, no matter where I was, I felt like a stranger to my family. Senpai is silent. Avoiding my gaze, she huddles her shoulders apologetically. See, it was boring after all, right? That's why I said it'd be a waste of time. No, that's not true. It was a very meaningful story. Senpai forces a smile to try and diffuse the situation. But it was a little surprising because I thought of you as an easygoing person. I mean, I am basically an easygoing person. It's my personal philosophy to enjoy the present as much as possible. People are happier enjoying what's to come, rather than being concerned about what happened before, right? Well, actually, that was an opinion I'd inherited from Arihiko. Enjoy what's to come. That sounds nice. Senpai sips her tea with a very gentle smile. I follow Senpai's example and place my lips on the cup. With a slurp, the bitter tea washes down my throat with just a hint of sweetness. Alright, so I skipped quite a bit. I basically skipped everything from, like, we're on day 2 now. I skipped, like, going home and meeting everybody. Figured just to make it more streamlined, I should just, like, focus on the parts that I haven't seen yet. Alright, so this is a new one with just greeting Akiha, apparently. Hey, morning, Akiha. Good morning, Nissan. In contrast to my hurried entrance, Akiha is perfectly calm. Good morning, Shiki-san. If you're looking for breakfast, it's ready in the dining hall, so please eat up. Kohaku-san greets me with a warm smile in contrast to Akiha's coolness. Oh, thank you very much. It looks like you're having your after-meal tea. Have you already finished breakfast, Akiha? Of course. I don't care to know when you get up, Nissan, but please at least allow time for breakfast. Having breakfast after 7 is a sign of sloppiness. I think having breakfast at 7 is pretty normal. What time do you get up, Akiha? I get up at 5. What about it? Wow, I don't know why she gets up so early, but it was so perfect a time to get up that I have no room to retort. Besides, your school is 30 minutes from here on foot, is it not? Please don't be late to a school that's so close by. It would be an embarrassment. Ugh. Akiha's words are filled with thorns that stab at me. But, as it's the truth, I once again have no room to make any counter-argument. Ah, geez, I couldn't help it. It was so noisy last night, I couldn't get to sleep. Oh yeah, that's right, there's a thing about, like, the wolves, right? I see, you must not be used to your room yet, having just returned. Well, I'll let you off the hook this time. No, it's not because I'm used to the room, but... At any rate, those stray dogs last night were really noisy. So back to that, now that we kind of know the truth about the Tohno bloodline and everything that happened, I'm assuming that they all heard it, and they're just choosing to, like, not bring it up or, like, ignore it. It wasn't because of the room, it was because of them. Morning lessons are over. It's lunch break, and Arihiko has gone on ahead to the cafeteria. Now, where should I have my lunch? Alright, we're gonna go to the tea ceremony room. I guess I'll take a look at the tea ceremony room. I'm sure Senpai said something yesterday about class about having lunch there. If Senpai's there, maybe I can talk with her while having lunch. Most importantly, I enjoy having lunch with Senpai, and I'm also worried about the news story from this morning. Alright, gotta strike while the iron's hot and all. I head off to the tea ceremony room before Arihiko notices my plan. I knock on the tea ceremony room door. After a brief wait, the door creaks open, and Senpai pokes out her head. Tohno-kun? Puzzled, Senpai tilts her head. She doesn't seem annoyed, but it seems like she really doesn't understand why I came here. Would you like to have lunch together, Senpai? Holding out the bread I purchased at the cafeteria, I tell her why I'm here. Lunch? I'm happy to hear you ask me, but... Senpai thinks over it, looking troubled. Things don't look good. It seems Senpai isn't very interested. I guess I've got no choice. I decide to employ a little strategy. I have curry bread. Eh? Senpai's face becomes bright and cheerful. I had a feeling about this from yesterday's lunch, but I am amused at her reaction. Like, curry bread. I've never had it before. That sounds amazing. I actually kind of want to look up, like, what is curry bread exactly? Is it bread that tastes like curry? Is it bread that has curry inside of it? Actually, I'm gonna look this up right now. Oh my gosh, it looks amazing. So it does have curry inside of it. Japanese curry or other types of curry wrapped in a piece of dough, which is coated in breadcrumbs and deep fried. Oh my god, I can see why Ciel would just be like, yep, I will do whatever you want for some curry bread. That I'm gonna make it my life's mission now. I need to have some curry bread sometime in my life. That looks amazing. I'll give you this and thanks for yesterday's lunch, so why don't we eat it together? Yes, please. I've just put the tea on. Senpai hastily vanishes inside. Following her, I enter the tea ceremony room. Ah, as I enter, it becomes obvious why Senpai was hesitating. On top of the tatami mat is an already empty lunchbox. It seems like Senpai is long since finished eating her lunch. Tohno-kun, would you like green or English tea? Eh? Green tea, please. More importantly, have you already finished lunch, Senpai? Yes, just a little while ago. I slept in this morning, so I didn't have any breakfast, and I was hungry all morning. It was terrible. You see, well, you don't have to force yourself to accompany me. Sorry for intruding on you. I'll eat in the classroom, so please take your time relaxing. Eh? You mean you're not going to give me any bread? She's like, you can give me the bread and leave. Senpai's sorrow seems to resound from the bottom of her heart. No, I mean, you must be full, right, Senpai? Not at all. I'm hungry. It doesn't appear that she's just saying this to make me feel better. Really? Well, I'll be intruding then. Is this really okay with you, Senpai? The bread from our cafeteria really has volume, you know? No need to worry. If it's food I like, then I can eat limitless amounts of it. That bashful smile is most probably not from shyness, but from anticipation of the curry bread. She is a woman of many mysteries. Someone who could be so happy over one curry bread in this day and age could be quite precious. Senpai eats one while I have two, and we have tea afterwards. Kneeling on top of the mat, Senpai and I casually sip our tea. It would have been great if it wasn't during lunchtime at school, but that's life. How's your new house, Tohno-kun? It seems something terrible happened this morning. Yeah, well, the inside of the house is really fancy. Wait, why would she say it seems something terrible happened this morning? How does she know? The inside of the house is really fancy, but there are these really noisy stray dogs at night. I guess it's also bad that there's no TV and no Japanese-style rooms, so there's nowhere to drink tea like this. What? A stray dog? You mean what happened at your house wasn't related to those serial killings? Oh, right, serial killings. Forgot about that. I was like, what do you mean something terrible happened? I don't really know. There's this really high wall all the way around our mansion, and they say they found bloodstains there. But listen, I guess that's what happens when I skip most of the content, is I kind of forget about what actually is going on. I saw the stray dog last night. I couldn't say it. Well, anyhow, it's got nothing to do with us. Let's stop talking about unpleasant topics now that we finally got an opportunity to relax. I'm assuming after, like, usually the second or third day, it's pretty much all going to be new content, so the skipping will be minimized. Not at all. We're residents of this town, so I think the killings do have something to do with us. Holding her cup in one hand, Senpai casts a serious gaze towards me. Yeah, I guess that's true, but you'll be okay if you don't go walking in the streets late at night, won't you? There's been 8 people killed so far already, right? With that many victims, the police ought to catch the guy any day now. Gee, Shiki-kun, you don't have any sense of danger, do you? The newscasters have been saying the same thing since the 3rd victim was found, but they haven't caught him yet, have they? Well, that's true. It's just I can't really relate to it when they give such a stupid caption like, the modern-day vampire. I'm sorry, I really did take it too lightly. We live in this town, so we've got to be careful, right? Yes, I'm glad you understand. Senpai smiles in a satisfied manner. But Senpai, why are they calling him a vampire anyway? Well, the blood was drained from all the bodies, right? Isn't that kind of like a vampire? It's funny because, like, she definitely knows it's a literal vampire, but she's got to be vague about it. You really think so? Isn't it said that you become a vampire yourself once a vampire sucks your blood? These victims are all dead, with the corpses to prove it, so they don't really have to go calling him a vampire. Senpai laughs and nods. Do you really believe in things like vampires, Tohno-kun? Hey now, I'm just saying that's how the news is presenting it. If there really were vampires, there wouldn't be any dead bodies left, just like I said earlier. Yes, you're right, but can't you think of it like this? The people who were found dead died because they couldn't become vampires. There are actually people who can and can't come. She's just straight up saying this. She's not even saying this as like a hypothetical. Okay, there are actually people who can and can't become vampires, and those who can become vampires wouldn't show up as dead bodies after being attacked by one, because they're still alive somewhere. Haha, that's what you call a horror story, Senpai. Yes, exactly. I'm sorry to say there's no punchline. Laughing, Senpai sips from her tea. While we're having our rambling conversation, lunchtime ends. Okay, so now we've got the moment where, like, I kill Arcuid, so we're just gonna go ahead and skip that. Okay, so this is after I've just killed her, I suppose. This is without a doubt reality brought by my hands. But just what is wrong about it? Wrong, 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 wrong. I killed her. Is that fact wrong? I didn't kill her. Is that fact wrong? No, all that's totally wrong. That's wrong, 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 wrong. You ever say a word so much it doesn't sound like a word anymore? Wrong. No, no, that is wrong. I'm saying it's wrong. It can't be. It just can't be. Wrong, 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 wrong. I don't know her. She's just a stranger I saw walking down the street. See? Isn't that strange to you, Shiki? She's a complete stranger. Why would I have to kill her? There's no answer to my screams. Besides, the reason is clear. From the moment I saw her, I could only think of one thing. Yes, Tohno Shiki wanted to kill that girl. That's what I wanted to do back then. Just that, it was all so muddy inside my head. I didn't put it into words. Wrong. I feel like throwing up. Ugh, ugh. The contents of my stomach rise. The crimson is soaking into my eyeballs. Ah! I dash out. I don't think for even a moment about how I might be seen, or to hide the body. I just want to escape from here. Half crazed, I flee from the unfamiliar apartment. Gah, bleh. My stomach acid rises in my throat. I throw everything back up. My food, my gastric juices, everything, while I cry. There's nothing left in my stomach, but my body continues to force me to throw up, as if trying to undo what has occurred and return me to my ordinary life. Pain, it hurts, like my insides are burning. The tears won't stop, and my body collapses to the floor like a pile of garbage. I keep crying. I killed someone. I killed her without reason, without mercy, like breaking apart a doll. What was it all about? Why I felt like that? Why I killed her? Even now, I can't find a reason. It's a lie. No, it's too odd to be true. The thing that just happened might not be real. So this is just one of those dreams I have when I faint. It's a lie. Besides, how could someone cut apart someone like that with just a knife? I read it in a book once. It takes a whole day of strenuous labor to cut someone up, even when using a saw. That's why there's no way I could have possibly done such a thing with just a knife. These lines never existed in the first place. Everything was just a delusion I had fallen for. It's a lie. Gastric juice drips over my lips, passing out of my mouth, dripping down my jaw. Mixed with the juices is something red. My throat is probably bleeding because my stomach keeps trying to throw up even when there's nothing left. It hurts. That's why this isn't a dream, and I'm just lying to myself. Actually, I understand everything. I lusted after her. Just looking at her aroused me. When I cut her apart, it was so thrilling, I almost ejaculated. These eyes, too. If I knew these lines could cut things apart like paper being shredded, I should have understood that even a person could easily be cut apart, just like I did to her. I had lived a normal life without even thinking about something like that. If I really am the sort of dangerous person who could easily kill just about anything, then I should have put these eyes out, or lived a life without seeing anyone. I'm sorry, Sensei. I'm so sorry. Not even such a simple promise was I able to keep. But I don't care about myself. I killed that person's life up until now. The people around that person, the future that person dreamed of, everything destroyed by a stranger. Even if I regret it, I cannot be forgiven. Even if I apologize, I cannot be forgiven. Have I gone insane? I don't know. There isn't even a trace of that impulse left. But if that impulse came again, what will happen to me? The thought of holding back never crossed my mind. I didn't even consider trying to stop myself. Kill this girl. But it seemed like the obvious thing to do, and I went through with it, and there's nothing I can do. Then the answer is simple. I must be insane. I've probably been mad since 8 years ago, when I miraculously came back to life from a fatal accident. I'm cold. The sun has gone down without me noticing. What time is it now? I can't tell. My eardrums are filled with noise like a static TV. Static, static, static. The sound doesn't stop. It's terribly cold. If I stay sitting down on this bench like this, I think I'm going to die. It'll be interesting, like, how much interaction will I have with Arcuid in this playthrough? Like, will I barely see her at all? Or am I going to, like, are Ciel and Arcuid and I, are we going to form, like, some sort of temporary, like, what's the word I'm thinking of? Like a partnership to take down Roa? Like, I hope that we're not just going to ignore Arcuid completely, because I really like her as a character. I don't feel anything. I don't care about that repeating noise or the freezing cold. My body's shivering. It may be due to the cold, or the uneasiness, or the fear, or regret. I can't tell which. I've killed someone, and I can't explain why I did it without any reason. What a joke. There's no reason, so there's no way I can explain it. I killed her just because I felt like killing her. Such a reason is insanity. Yeah, it would be so easy if I was just insane. But my heart still remains sane. It's only because I'm still sane that I can feel this numbness. Static, static, static. The knife is still in my hand. Resolving this by killing myself, that's pretty easy. But I can't do it. I'm still sane, so I can't do it. My heart fears death, and somewhere in my heart, I know that doing so will not settle this, or atone for it. The noise continues. My body temperature continues to plummet. I can't kill myself, but if I leave things as they are, I'll disappear. Maybe it's for the best, even if a killer like me survives. If I just quickly die like this. Tohno-kun. Suddenly, my name is called. I raise my head. There's Senpai. It feels like decades since I last saw her. What are you doing sitting out here in the rain? Rain? Oh, I see. That static noise up until now was the sound of rain. No wonder it's cold. I can see now that I'm completely soaked and freezing. Oh, you don't even have an umbrella. You're going to catch a cold like that, Tohno-kun. Senpai's voice is so painful. It was only a few hours ago that I last heard it, but now it sounds so distant. Tohno-kun? Can you hear me? Yeah. It wouldn't be so bad to catch a cold. I just reply without thinking. That won't do. You'll catch more than a cold with rain like this, even if it is October. Her sentence cuts off as she touches me. How long have you been like this, Tohno-kun? You're so cold. Senpai pulls my arm and forces me up from the bench. I'll lend you my umbrella, so please hurry and go home and do something about your body. It'll really be a matter of life and death if you don't warm up quickly. Yeah, but I can't go home. I can't go anywhere ever again. Oh, is she gonna be like, you can stay with me then? I can't go home after doing something like that. I don't think there's anywhere left where I can rest anymore. Senpai stares at me. I see. Then let's go back to my room. It's closer than your house, so it's perfect. Senpai pulls me by the arm. I can't shake her off. I can't think about anything at the moment, and Senpai's warmth is the only certain thing in this world where everything feels numb. Senpai's room is a common one-room apartment in a two-story building. Just one really small, cramped room the size of 6 tatami mats and one kitchen. As one might expect from Senpai, the room is a neat one. The trivial fact relaxes my numbed nerves just a little. Here, please wipe yourself with this. She hands me a bath towel. Sorry, I don't have any clothes that fit you. Please, just bear with this for a while. I'll go prepare something warm for you to drink right away. Senpai retreats to the kitchen. I'm left by myself in the neat room. I've never imagined coming into a girl's room like this. A girl's room. The room of a girl. A girl's room which I forced myself into and killed a girl in. I feel like throwing up. What am I doing here, in such a place? I have absolutely no right to receive Senpai's hospitality here. Thanks for waiting. Here you go. Tohno-kun, you gotta wipe yourself down quickly. Senpai scolds me as she begins to rub my head with the bath towel. See, your shirt is all soaked. You got to take it off. You might catch pneumonia like this. A very fierce-looking senpai undoes the buttons on my shirt. Suddenly, her fingers stop. Oh, my scar? Senpai takes a long, hard look at my chest. This is a healed wound, isn't it? Oh, she must be surprised to see the old wound on my chest. The burn-like marks are right in the middle of my chest. She probably knows what that is, right? Does she have any idea, like, what would cause that scar? She might be surprised at seeing them because she didn't know. Yeah, they're fine. It's already been 8 years. I see. Thank goodness. If this wound was the reason you're acting funny, I'd have to take you to the hospital right away. Senpai gives a faint, soft smile. A twinge. When I see her smiling face, my chest hurts. It's alright, I can do it by myself, so please leave me alone. Okay, I'll bring you some tea. Oh, if you take your shirt off, please use the sheet there and warm yourself. I wipe my trousers with a bath towel, but even so, my trousers are still wet. The sheet's going to get soaked if I cover myself with it. Take off my shirt and wrap the top half of my body with a towel. Ah, are you finished wiping yourself? Then let's have some tea. Senpai sits down, holding a tea set. Please sit down too, Tohno-kun. I can't calm down with you standing up. I do as I'm told and sit down. Senpai pours some English tea and hands it to me. Neither of us say anything. Senpai drinks her English tea as if she doesn't notice my presence. Following her example, I drink some as well. It's hot, so hot that it hurts my tongue. The warmth puts a pulse into me. It feels like my heart, brain, and all my other organs that stopped begin to move a little again. Senpai says nothing. It's not long before the teacup is empty. Senpai naturally refills the cup again with more. I get the feeling that I have to say something. Tohno-kun? I recoil in shock. I'm going out for a bit. Can I count on you to look after the house? Yeah, that's fine. Alright, then I'll leave it up to you. I'll be right back, so don't do anything funny. I wonder how serious she is. Smiling as she speaks, Senpai leaves. I'm alone again. The warm something I'd felt up until a moment ago is quickly cooling down. Senpai didn't ask me anything. She takes a person like me into her room, and just looks after me like it's the natural thing to do. Though I didn't notice, the warmth of the tea, the neatness of the room. What is many, many times more comforting than those things is having someone beside me. My chest hurts. A little while ago, I preferred to be alone, feeling nothing, but now, I become uneasy just by her absence. I want to scream like I've gone crazy. What arrogance. I'm a murderer after all. I don't have any right to Senpai's kindness. But I'm selfishly wanting Senpai to quickly come home. I'm home, Tohno-kun. Thanks for looking after the place. Senpai, it seems she brought all sorts of things. There are several plastic bags hanging from her hands. Let's see. Please wear this for now. It's cheap, but it's better than wet clothing. By the way, the bath should be about ready now. You should feel a bit better after relaxing in there for a while. Eh? Senpai neatly prepares everything. My change of clothes, a bath. This person is, even though there's no need to do so for a person like me. It's okay, Senpai. I'm going home. I can't cause you any more trouble. What are you saying, Tohno-kun? You said you can't go home, right? I've already bought food for two, so please take some responsibility. Responsibility? Senpai? Please warm yourself up, eat dinner, and get yourself together before you go home. You just go home with a face like that. I'll be so worried I won't be able to sleep. My chest hurts. Happiness. I'm so happy I'm about to cry. But, on the other hand, I'm in fear of her kindness. Why? Yes? What is it, Tohno-kun? Why do you go so far, Senpai? I don't have any right to be treated kindly by you. I killed someone. I can't have someone taking care of me. I'm hopeless. I made a very big mistake, and I ran away without taking responsibility. I was even considering just dying. I'm trying to cling onto Senpai. That sin, the life I took with my own hands. I'm trying to make it something that didn't happen in my mind. The mistake I made is unforgivable. No, I don't think it should be forgiven. That's why I'm hopeless. I have no right to be treated well by you here, Senpai. She sighs. It seems that you're convinced that you're a bad person, Tohno-kun, she answers simply. Senpai grasps the truth lying deep within me. But that just shows you have no confidence in your own actions. You know you made a mistake, but you don't understand whether it's good or bad. That's why you have no choice but to drive yourself into a corner until things become clear to you. No, I don't know, but yeah, I am taking in the fact that I did it, yet I still don't understand why. I've killed someone, and that makes me a bad person. Maybe I've just been forcing myself into the role of a villain as I try to confirm where my sin lies. I don't know what your mistake is, and to put it bluntly, I don't care. You say you have no right to kindness, but that's just your point of view. I'm not being kind to you for your sake, so please don't worry about it. Well, I mean, I'm doing this because I want to. It has nothing to do with your circumstances. It may be a bother to you, but please just think of yourself as having been caught by a mean-spirited senpai and give up. Saying this, senpai smiles. That soft, protective, faint smile. I can hear the sound of rain. In the end, I couldn't shake off senpai's kindness after all. She lets me use the bath and prepares pajamas for me. She treats me to dinner, and she lends me a bed because it's raining outside. And I'm about to go to sleep like this. My throat feels blocked. Senpai's taken care of me so much that my senses feel numb. During dinner, she spoke cheerfully like she always does. She raised all the usual topics, about school and the many shops in the business district and so on. And although I couldn't give her even one proper answer, every time I responded, I felt a little bit of myself coming back. Right now, I'm sleeping in Senpai's bed, and can't stop thinking about Senpai, who's sleeping on the floor. What a turn of events. I killed someone only hours ago, and now I'm getting excited like a normal student. My senses really do feel numb. I didn't think I could ever be showered in happiness like this ever again. The Arcade has just been forgotten about in this one, I guess. And then she's just gonna show up. He's gonna be like, oh yeah, that's right. I killed you, didn't I? I can't sleep, so I just look around. I don't know what I should do next. I can hear the sound of the downpour outside. You're going to be late tomorrow if you don't hurry up and sleep, Tohno-kun. Senpai, you're awake? I can't sleep until you do. I'm a girl after all. I'm sorry. I'll sleep in the kitchen then. Oh, how many times do I have to tell you? You've got a cold, so you can't sleep in a place like the kitchen. It's all right. Just please hurry up and forget your unpleasant thoughts so you can go to sleep. Unpleasant thoughts. That's impossible. It's not something I can forget. It's something I shouldn't forget. Whatever the reason, I killed someone. To forget about the person I killed would be a sin deep beyond imagination. No, I can't just gloss over my sins, Senpai. I can't forget about them, and I won't try to. But thanks. You really helped me with all sorts of things today. I really might have died if I stayed like that. That would be running away. If I really think I'd made a mistake, I shouldn't deny it. Sins, you say? It seems like your mistake is something unimaginable for me. Senpai speaks in a cheerful voice like she's telling a joke. But there's no such thing as a human who doesn't commit sin. It's not like the world is divided into sinners and the innocent. As long as you're alive, you'll make mistakes. It's sad, but it's unavoidable. To live is to be worn down. We're only beings who influence other things while we fade away ourselves. What? Then you're saying we're beyond salvation? I don't like that story about how everyone makes mistakes. Yes, I guess we can't be saved if that were the case, but you can atone for your sins. There are only people who can and who cannot atone for their sins. I think those beyond salvation are those who cannot atone for their sins. For some reason, Senpai's voice sounds very sad. Like, I want to know, how did a girl like her end up as a burial agent? Or agency agent, I guess. That's what it's called, right? Burial agency? But like, yeah, how did she end up as working with the church? But you can atone for your sins, Tohno-kun. I don't know what kind of mistake you've made, but you're the kind of person who can atone for your sins. If you're too worried to sleep, then just think about how you intend to live and atone for your sins from now on. It's a really hard thing to come up with, so your brain is sure to tire out, and you'll fall right asleep. I don't know how serious she is, as she seems to be throwing jokes into the mix. I can atone for my sins, huh? But, Senpai, my mistake is definitely one that can't be atoned for. It's something I can say for sure. That's right, no matter what form it takes, sin cannot be atoned for. If you injure someone, the sin's not gone even if you heal the wound, is it? No matter how hard you try, you can't erase the mistakes you've made. I think atoning's not about the results, but about the process. That's what I mean by those who atone for and those who don't. That's why you're the kind of person who can atone for your sins. I don't understand. I'm a terrible person. I'm not the great person you think I am. I can easily see that. I was really moved just then. You have a terrible wound on your chest, right? Eh? Yes, but what about it? You must have had a serious accident to get a scar like that. Scars tend to distort your mind. I mean, literally in the case of mine. A wound that size which doesn't disappear is a little out of the ordinary. But you're a very natural person. Anyone with that kind of wound who can lead a normal life can be proud of his own strength. You must have had a very proper childhood. Satisfied, Senpai concludes her musings and falls silent. I can hear her even breathing if I strain my ears. Are you asleep, senpai? There's no reply. I can only hear the sound of the rain from outside. Atone for my sins, huh? A punishment to fit the sin I'd committed. I guess they'll find the body of the girl I'd killed tomorrow, and there will be a new serial killer story on the news. I can't even begin to count the things I'll lose when that happens. It'll be trouble for Akiha for sure, and I'll never be able to talk to senpai like this again. But if that would atone for my sin, then I have no choice but to accept it. If I can atone for my sin with that, then there might be salvation somewhere. I feel a little sleepier. I don't know about tomorrow. I don't know, but if I can be forgiven, until the moment my sin is discovered, until the moment I'm confronted with it, I wish I could just keep living this kind of life. Poof. Shh. There's a noise coming from nearby. I don't feel like waking up, but I lazily open my eyes in reaction to the noise. Oh, okay. Senpai's changing. It's still the middle of the night. There's no light coming in from the window. Maybe the rain stopped. It's very quiet now. Oh, is she getting ready to, like, she putting on her priest garb and she's going out to look for Roa? Senpai's taking off her clothes. What a shame. If I wasn't in such a deep state of regret over the murder I've committed, or half asleep, I'd fully be able to appreciate how sexy she looks. Right now, though, my head doesn't seem to function properly. Senpai's eyes look lifeless. More importantly, there's something strange. What is that? Oh, interesting. There are odd bruises on her arms. I guess she talked about, like, scars. She's got them as well. No, those aren't bruises. Oh, tattoos, not scars. Okay. I guess in a way, isn't a tattoo kind of like a scar that you put on yourself, essentially? More like tattoos. There's something not right about this. I feel sleepy again. I think a lot of things are cluttered around Senpai's feet, but that's it. I fall into a deep sleep. Alright guys, that's going to do it for part 1 of the CL route. It was a little short today, and yes, there was a lot of skipping of things that I'd already experienced, but I assume from here on out, or at least pretty soon after, like, we're going to get, it's going to be a pretty consistently new stuff. But yeah, just the little hints of things. Things that we already knew about CL, obviously, about her being like an agent, and that's why at the end we saw, I'm assuming, changing into that and getting ready to go out and look for Roa and maybe Arcuate as well. The tattoos are kind of cool. But yeah, getting a little bit of insight into her about, like, her character a little bit more. The curry thing, I love that. I've discovered curry bread, apparently, is like a thing that I want to try now, so thank you to this game for that alone. And already, like, I'm kind of liking, like, we're definitely getting more of that nurturing character. We got to see a little bit of it in the first playthrough, but I think we're really going to see it here. And I'm already like, you know what? I think the two of them together. I think I don't know, the Shiki Arcuate thing, I was like, ugh, I don't know how I feel about this. Like, I love Arcuate. She's very cute, very sweet. She's fun, but I don't know about that. I feel like these two together, I feel like they fit more as like a couple, but we'll just have to wait and see more of that. But anyway, that's gonna do it for me, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and stay tuned for part 2 of CL Route next week. Until then, bye. Special shoutouts to my top tier patrons: Revealing Storm, Lynn's VA, Lunar, Kenju Storm, Icognito, and Bad Cat.